and an air force against something like 75,000 Taliban. It is not inevitable.
Just over a month after US President Joe Biden's remarks, the Taliban took over the Afghan capital, Kabul. Bomb blasts and counterattacks ensued.
This is the Bagram airfield. Were completely evacuated from the US and NATO forces on Thursday night. And the largest coalition base in Afghanistan, capitals in north and west of Afghanistan on Monday and Tuesday. Fighting in Afghanistan has further intensified as Taliban militants captured more key cities across the country.
On August 15th, the Taliban took over the capital, Kabul, while President Mohammad Ashraf Ghani fled the country.
As of the Sunday night, sporadic gunfiring could be heard through the city, as many irresponsible armed groups emerged on the streets, causing panic among the people.
Attacks were launched in Kabul, just days before the readjusted August 31st pull-out deadline, with the US administration vowing retaliation. 20 years ago, the US invaded Afghanistan to get rid of the Taliban. But upon its exit, US troops appeared to rely on the same group that they had tried to wipe out for their own safety.
که می‌بینیم روز به روز افزایش حملات تروریستی روز به روز افزایش یافته رایسته. شاید به گمانم شاید در 22 ولایت افغانستان هم فعلا جنگ جریان داره. جنگ نیروهای دولتی با طالبان یا افراد غیر مسلح جریان داره.
Death, bloodshed, and a tremendous humanitarian tragedy. In 20 years, over 30,000 civilians in Afghanistan have been killed in shootings and bombings in the US-inflicted war. More than 60,000 were wounded, and around 11 million became refugees.
یک بچه 14 ساله دارم دیگه 3-4 تا سیاست است این همی مسافر داد در اون خانه ماند قفا توانایی پیسه نداشتیم یک کسی کمک کرد آمدیم در اینجا
همه چیز داشتیم در خانه ما از هر چیزی بگین داشتیم اما این چیز نتونستیم بکشیم به خاطر جنگ زیاد به خاطر اونجا من در تخار راه بند قدم هم نمیتونه بیایه این چیز ما نکشیده نمیتونه فقط تونستیم همینجا خود بکشیم آج به خاطر واده تمام ما رو میخرم دیگه ما فقط هم وطن خودم میخوایم هم جای زندگی جای خود باش خودم میخوایم نمیخوایم ما رو بخرن با دادنانا خود دادنانا نمیتونن زندگی ما رو پس بدن نمیتونن هیچ کاری بکنن ما هم جای زندگی خود باش خودم میخوایم.
In 2001, the US conducted military interventions under the pretext of democracy and human rights. 20 years on, what the US touted as ultimate nation building appears to have failed. It also failed in imposing its own models on Afghanistan, a country some say the US never truly understood.
Dass das schon gelungen ist. Auf jeden Fall dauert es zeitlich sehr, sehr viel länger, als wir uns das gedacht haben. Wir waren immerhin fast 20 Jahre jetzt in Afghanistan. In dieser Zeit ist es nicht gelungen. Und insofern muss man sagen, dass das keine erfolgreiche Bemühung war und dass man daraus Lehren ziehen muss. Ja.
Mightiest of the superpower got a very humiliating defeat over there. American way of democracy, which they wanted to introduce to the people of Afghanistan, was completely rejected by the Afghan nation. I would say that Afghan nation would have been in a much better place what they are today, because now they are in total disarray.
In 20 years, Afghanistan turned from the rule of Taliban back to Taliban rule. With the end of America's longest war, the legacy the country left may be something that Afghans take years or even decades to heal from.